Hello and welcome in, and happy holidays. Merry Christmas here early on. It's time to sit down and talk an early present for you as we get to sit down and talk some Catamount basketball with Western Carolina head coach Larry Hunter. And coach, got to be good to be back home a little bit here. Obviously, I know our players might not like final exam break, but at least from the travel and all the games we've had against some of the tough people, got to be good to be back at home a little bit in terms of this break for final exams. Good to get rested and good to get some practice time.
Well, it was a well-needed break, and we've had a chance to take several days off here. Obviously, give the guys a chance to finish up final papers and prepare for final exams here this week, and so it's been really good. And I think they needed to get away from basketball a little bit. We were putting a little bit of pressure on ourselves, and it was a tough stretch, and it was a difficult schedule, and probably not a great schedule for this inexperienced of a team, but in our situation that's sometimes a little bit difficult to control, but they've survived it. We've gotten better, and I'm pleased with some things that are happening now in our program.
Well, let's talk about some of that improvement. Obviously, we've seen the team go and have great execution. We've had trouble finishing at times, putting the ball in the basket at times, but making a lot of strides with the young group. A lot of growing up has been taking place early this year.
Well, it really has. And, Hook, several things please me. And one would be we've got really good people in the program. We've got some good basketball players. We have some good competitors, and they've kept a really good attitude from the perspective that they want to get better and they want to be a good basketball team. So those are things as a coaching staff and personally as a head coach that gives me confidence that we're going to be okay. And people might look at some of our losses. We've had some not very pleasant halves where we haven't played very good basketball. But the positives of it, we've played a lot of people. We've tried to get some of our young guys a lot of playing experience. And even some of our upperclassmen, they didn't have a lot of in-game experience, even though they were upperclassmen. So we've grown from that perspective. When you look at our statistics, obviously we've been consistently inconsistent offensively, if you will. We've just not shot the ball very well at all from the field, from behind the arc, from the foul line. We've had a lot of turnovers on occasion, and we put our defense in some really tough situations because of turnovers and lack of good execution. But the positives are, for the most part, we've been pretty consistent defensively. I think we're going to be a really good defensive team as the season unfolds here, and we've been a pretty good rebounding team. And we played with pretty good energy and effort for the most part. So those things give me encouragement. I know we're not going to shoot the ball like this the entire season. In fact, our last two practices here recently, we've shot the ball much better. Some people who we know can shoot it have started putting the ball in the basket. Their confidence level is changing. Our execution's getting better. Shot selection's getting better. Our value of the basketball on offense is getting better. Our toughness is getting better. So things that we look for that are going to help us improve and be a really competitive basketball team in our league are starting to come forward.
Well, Coach, kind of continuing that conversation about your squad, looking at some of the players that have been the consistent factors. I think Mark Gosselin has been one of those guys that has brought it night in, night out, the great hustle, great effort, great energy. I think Abubakar Mutombo has been a guy that's been a good rebounder for you. And then Darius Parks, when he's been healthy, has been a guy that's really brought some stability to that point guard position for you.
Right. Well, very, very pleased with Mark. He's progressing right on schedule, I think, and going to have a great career for us. Abubakar Mutombo is our leading scorer. Was rebounding the ball exceptionally well. Has tailed off a little bit in that area. We need him to pick it back up. But he's given us some stability there from the scoring perspective. Darius, we call him Reese Parks, is given us a lot of poise. He's a smart player, has good feel for the game of basketball, and provided some real poise when we've needed it out there. And we've moved him back to the point guard, some from his off guard position on occasion. Two primary areas where we've really struggled with any consistency. We haven't really established an inside presence at all offensively. It's been very hit and miss. And our point guard position is, we've really struggled there to handle pressure consistently, to to the kind of leadership and poise that we want out of that position. And we've tried several different people there. Probably right now we're going with our sophomore Elijah Pugsley. He's kind of the one that is kind of grabbing a hold of that position now, and we'll see how that goes. Obviously Devin Peterson will still play there some. We're kind of moving him to the off guard wing position a little bit to take advantage of some things that he can do offensively from that position. And then we've got both Devin and Reese that'll back up some play at that point guard position. And some of our younger guys, I'm very pleased with the development of Adam Sled, Ano Steger, Yalam Oakley. Those guys have all showed signs that they're going to be good basketball players. Even Maurice Smith and Jason McMillan, all 5 of those freshmen have. They've grown a lot since 1st of November for sure.
Well, the development continues, obviously, counting on young guys. You've seen at times this year, Coach, where you've had 4, maybe even 5 freshmen and sophomores on the floor at one time, again, trying to develop those guys and, again, throwing them to the fire here early on. Some really tough opponents. West Virginia, probably the toughest team we'll see all season long. Marquette, very good as well. And the schedule kind of comes back to us a little bit, getting some home games coming up. At first, we got to wrap up this 7-game road swing, and we got to do it against the familiar foe. It's cats versus dogs, Coach. It's the mountain rivalry. It's UNC Asheville. It's always a big matchup between these 2 squads.
Well, it's fun to play a program like Asheville. It's a good program. They've got really good tradition up there. We've since I've been here, the 11 or 12 times we've played them, they've just been really hotly contested ball games, fun games to play in, wars to win. And I don't anticipate this one being any different. They're off to a great start. They're 7-3. They've played a good non-conference schedule too. They've really got some impressive road wins. We've got a couple good Division I road wins. They have as well. They've won at Coastal Carolina, at Elon, at Furman, at Upstate. So some wins that really get your attention a little bit. In their top 8 player rotation, they have 3 seniors and 4 juniors. So they're a little bit different looking than we are from that perspective. Guys that we know pretty well that were on the NCAA team a year ago. I'm sure they're going to be ready for this ball game. We've kind of had our way with them the last 3 or 4 years, and look for them to be ready to go as we will be too. We could be sitting here 3 weeks from now. We're here 3-6 right now, Hook. You can't predict the future, but I like what's happening with our guys. And who knows what's going to happen this Saturday, what's going to happen. We got 5 straight home games coming up with some really good opponents. The High Points College of Charleston, of course, Mars Hill. And we got 2 really good conference opponents, Chattanooga and Sanford, coming in right around the New Year's. And but we've got a chance. We could be sitting here in 2.5 weeks and things could look a whole lot different, and we could feel pretty good about where we are. So if our fans haven't seen us play, and they've just looked at statistics, or this time of the year they're just looking at scores or record, they could really feel like we don't have a chance to be a very good team at all. But that's the farthest thing from the truth, in my opinion. And who knows, in a couple of weeks we might be sitting here with a whole different outlook. And I know our guys. I know how hard we're working. I know the potential we have. And it's just a matter of it coming together, and it's starting to show signs of that. And if we can get another good road win before Christmas and get a few home wins here Christmas, and as the new year approaches, we could feel a whole lot different about the looks of our basketball season. And so don't give up on us yet, partner.
Well, you mentioned those 2 conference games at the back end of that 5-game homestand, the longest homestand of our season. And really, if you want to look at it, we could say a 6-game homestand. We could go over to Kimmel Arena and paint it purple coming up this Saturday as Western Carolina
gets
against UNC Asheville. And, of course, anybody that went up to Appalachian, I think we had probably maybe 2-1 in terms of fans there. We had as many fans as did Appalachian playing up at their place up in Boone, North Carolina. But talk about this holiday stretch coming up, Coach. How important is that for the fans to come out and to get the local community? Obviously, our students are going to be gone with the exam break being here, and next thing you know, it's Christmas break. But how important is that 5-game homestand?
Well, it's always helpful when you take the floor and you see a good crowd, and especially being here at home. It's going to be fun to be back home after all the road games we've played. And I know there's a lot of demands on people's time and at this time of the year, but if you want a little break from shopping or from just being at home, want to bring the children out, we'd love to have you in the stands for a few hours. And I know our players and our coaching staff would really appreciate it, and we're looking forward to being at home. It's always fun to play in the Ramsey Center, and we got to defend our home court. If you're going to have a good season, you're going to have a chance to be in the race for the conference championship in the regular season. You got to take care of defending your home court, and we take great pride in that. And we need some help. We need all the help we can get, and that comes from our fans.
And of course, 2 great options in terms of 3-game mini packs for the holidays. And of course, if you just go ahead and get the 8-game. Get the cat pack. Go ahead and get the one for the men and the women as they're home here during the holiday season. Look forward to having that, Coach. Again, look forward to UNC Asheville coming up, and then looking forward to being back at home as we get to come home finally instead sleep in our own beds and play in our home building. That's going to be key.
For sure, Hook, and looking forward to it. And I think we're going to give a good effort on Saturday, and like to see some people up there in Asheville as well.
Looking forward to that. Again, a 4:30 ball game over at Kimmel Arena. The next game on the docket for Western Carolina, 4 o'clock airtime on the Catamount Sports Network. Hope you'll tune in with us if you can't make it out to Kimmel Arena over in Asheville, North Carolina. All the time we have for today. For Coach Hunter, I'm Daniel Hooker saying so long for now.